Welcome back to the show, everybody. Take a look at these numbers while we run the headlines here. Look, we got all the fallout from yesterday's hearing, and then we have this. The White House drops the framework for crypto regulation. Let's take a look at it. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Not only do we have the article with the framework from the White House today, we also got the Ripple Swell event and who's going to be keynote speakers there. You're going to want every single bit of it. Good morning, everybody. It's $1.4 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency, CoinPeprica. Quick reminder right here, if you're a developer out here and you're looking for the best API, crypto aggregate of data, it is CoinPeprica. They are ranked number one. Don't believe me? Click the link underneath this video, find out for yourself, and you can get it for a special as well. No doubt about that. Bitcoin, 19,800 plus, Ethereum, 1,400 plus. Boy, we're going to talk about that merge. I think they may have found themselves in the SEC crosshairs, ladies and gentlemen. XRP, 33 cents. Let's go ahead and get started this morning. U.S. Department of Justice forms prosecutors network for crypto crimes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this isn't exactly breaking news. We've reported this before, but I wanted to remind everybody of this from the DOJ as we move through the rest of this information, which is going to focus primarily on the SEC and some of the CFTC as well and Congress. So let's get started here. Library case. We should get the answer to that case ruling today, if the judge hold true to their deadline, which is this week, and today is Friday, so let's see if we get that. But Library comments on the merge itself and the case and the hearing as well throughout yesterday and today. We'd like to congratulate Ethereum, a completely finished protocol as of 2014 that was never bought by anyone for investment purposes, on their pending upgrade to Ethereum 2.0 later today. Well, that is hashtag sarcasm, dare I say. As everyone knows, the Ethereum upgrade was purely charitable work by the Ethereum developers. Not a single Ethereum token was sold to pay a single dollar of income to any developer who worked on the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade. If this wasn't true, the SEC would sue them. You know, the SEC just may sue them, to be honest with you. And I totally get where Library is coming from here. Ethereum certainly got a free pass. And it is certainly evident of the upgrade, by the way, that it is clear that Ethereum is not only not decentralized, I think it confirms everything we know about JP Morgan being the main primary holder, more than likely, of Ethereum as a stake itself. So 45% of all Ethereum POS nodes after the merge owned by two wallets. Here's the evidence right here. Don't believe me. Look at that. This is what the big congratulations was all about. Think of it. This is what the big congratulations for the merge is about. Someone who's centrally controlling Ethereum with two wallets, or some ones, making this shift to proof of stake. I tell you, it is just incredulous, these people, what they're trying to sell as real momentum here. And this was really brought up, and to a great point here from Eleanor Terrett. It says, did Gary Gensler indirectly reveal his stance on Ethereum at today's banking GOP hearing? He may have. A common enterprise, he said, a group of individuals in the middle, that developer is in the middle, and the investing public is betting on them, counting on them, even if the token might be on 1,000 computers. It's the group of developers in the middle. Ethereum's merge was pulled off by a group of core developers that arguably the public was counting on to execute and get it right. Does that make it a common enterprise? Thus a security in Gensler's eyes? That, to me, is the right question to ask because, again, you know, looking at the information and what we understand here, I tell you, I believe it is. I believe it really is. So let's keep going. Then Wall Street Journal, put out this. Ether's new staking model could draw SEC attention for the very reasons that Eleanor Terrett highlighted. I have to say, these things are quite compelling, ladies and gentlemen. It may appear that they have moved back into the focus of the SEC, even though they got a free pass. Well, listen, then there was this said by Stuart Alderati. In today's Senate Banking Committee hearing, Chair Gensler misstated the Supreme Court test to determine what is and isn't a security. Was it intentional, or does he really not know the law? Which is worse? This isn't the first time that Gary Gensler's even left off a prong or misstated the Howey test. And he asked, Stuart Alderati, legal counsel for Ripple, is asking a fantastic question. Was it intentionally done, or does he really not know the law? And which is worse? I happen to personally believe it was certainly intentional. This is all very important information here. Listen, we're not just whining and crying about all of this. We got to follow this because this guy is suppressing the entire cryptocurrency market, isn't it? And we may get a decision today on the library case, as Jeremy Hogan has stated, that could affect the crypto space for years to come. Library says, and to the point that was asked by Senator Toomey, I might add, about explain to us, Gary Gensler, at what point was Bitcoin decentralized so other people with projects and tokens can take that same path? And Gary Gensler did not explain it. He did a horrible job when pressed on it. Library adds to the point here, it's pretty basic logic to understand that if Bitcoin is not a security, a set of steps must exist that can be followed for other tokens to not be securities. Why can't the SEC say what those steps are? How can not a single token have followed them in 13 years? What an incredible point to make right there. And it is true. And here's the other part. Bitcoin, supposedly anonymous, but according to Department of Homeland Security, they investigated and interviewed all 4 people they said were Satoshi Nakamoto, but yet everyone still acts like they don't know who was the creator of Bitcoin. So what is the path? Is it the recommendation of the SEC, the CFTC, and the Department of Justice that in order to be decentralized, that you obfuscate any public disclosures and create anonymity with your project and release it to the world? Is that the path that they are suggesting? Think of it for a moment. Is the only real path to a decentralized project or token to hide what you're doing and who you are from the government? Is that the path they want to recommend? I don't think that it is. Do you? And here's the White House. They release a comprehensive framework for crypto regulation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this. It's built on 6 months worth of reporting and reporting back. I'm going to go through this very quickly, but we need to see every bit of it. First ever comprehensive framework, responsible development of digital assets, outlining the conclusions of recommendations of various federal agencies after 6 months of studies. This is all for the directive of the executive order for crypto. The new framework builds on research from 9 reports submitted to the president since the order and claims to reflect the input and expertise of diverse stakeholders across government, industry, academia, and civil society. It says here, their concerns are wide ranges and the recommendations include not just the obvious, such as consumer protections, environment, and national security, but go a step further to consolidate the U.S.'s role as a global crypto frontrunner, which it is currently not, by encouraging private sector innovation and cooperation on an international level. Well, that's nice to hear, but let's actually see it. Let's see steps towards it, right? The framework is broken down into sections titled Protecting Consumers, Investors, and Businesses, Promoting Access to Safe, Affordable Financial Services, Fostering Financial Stability, Advancing Responsible Innovation, Reinforcing our Global Financial Leadership and Competitiveness, Fight Illicit Finance, and Exploring U.S. Central Bank Digital Currencies. The recommendations The framework greenlights regulators like the SEC and the Commodities Futures Trade Commission to continue coordinating efforts to enforce law in the industry and to share data on consumer complaints in the space. Before I read another word, this is why I say to you, when you hear them say Bitcoin and Ethereum are believed to be commodities and understood in the agency world to be commodities, well, that may have changed after the merge. When you hear the CFTC say we are going to regulate all crypto, they may be talking about one or two assets. Keep that in mind, because it is clearly saying here that they are continuing to coordinate efforts. So although it looks like a turf war, I really don't think that it is. However, the U.S. Treasury will take an active role in working with financial institutions to help identify and mitigate cyber risks through data sharing and analysis. It also is tasked with working with regulators to ensure crypto firms have regulatory guidance. Now, that is key right there, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what we don't have. Neither agency mentioned, CFTC nor SEC, has any framework of guidance that says, oh, you're looking to launch a project? Here, take this pamphlet, take this outline, and work within that, and then you should be fine. Neither one, and it's embarrassing to be able to say it out loud. The Treasury will extend this role to U.S. allies through international organizations like the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, known as OECD, and the Financial Stability Board, which is huge. The Treasury sits on that with the rest of the world, right? The Treasury is expected to complete an illicit finance risk assessment on decentralized finance by the end of February 2023 and an assessment on non-fungible tokens by July 2023. So we see here with this window that we've got some time to go for the for the Treasury, expected to complete the financial risk assessment on decentralized finance. That's DeFi, right? President Biden himself will have to decide whether to call upon Congress to amend the Bank Secrecy Act, anti-tip-off statutes, and then says, and laws against unlicensed money transmitting to apply explicitly to digital asset service providers, including digital asset exchanges and non-fungible token platforms. Today's fact sheet admits there are opportunities to ensure that blockchain technology aligns with a net zero emissions economy and improving environmental justice. Now, I tell you, that last line tells me that the carbon neutral XRP ledger is absolutely sitting at the front of the line here to be a candidate in some shape, way, or form for use. I would imagine that would be through the Treasury figuring out the best way to utilize it through payments and settlement and clearing. We shall see. Speculating, of course, right? Well, we're not speculating about this. Ripple Swell event's coming up here November 16th and 17th. You're going to want to see who's going to be there. Shout out to Cindy Young, managing director there. Take a look at these people that are going to be here. You tell me what the hell's coming. John Lambert, obviously, shout out to Brad Garlinghouse. Mastercard Chief Digital Officer, Jorn Lambert, Jorn, my apologies. Derek Walton is going to be there from the Bank of America. Now, we all know about those patents, Derek. Are we going to talk about some relationship with Ripple and XRP? That might be fantastic to hear. Head of GTS, Emerging Payments and Innovation. Now, what do you suppose Derek's doing there from Bank of America? That's a biggie. I'm going to want to see that one. Then we have Francisco, who's going to be there from TrueLayer, co-founder and CEO. Diane from HiHa, CEO. And we have Amazon Web Services, Global Head Innovation and GTM. How about that? Mr. Zhang, how about that? Obviously, Lulu Financial will be there. We see BCB Group's going to be there. Okay, we're looking for you. Head of OTC Trading. Be nice to see you tie into that DEX, that XRP Ledger Decentralized Exchange, Richard. Binance Head of Corporate Development is going to be there. Interesting. United Texas Bank. Well, Scott, looking forward to see what you got to say. We know what Stephen Witt's going to say from Zange.com. He's going to tell you it's a carbon neutral XRP ledger, and that's why they chose to use it. working in coordination with the United Nations out of Africa. That's amazing. James Wallace, always impressive. So is Susan Friedman. Michael Anderson, looking forward to hearing from him. And Ken Weber. Why are these people going there if we're not going to use it? I keep thinking in my mind about what Brad Garlinghouse said at the Collision Conference up in Canada. He says, we're acting as if we've already lost the lawsuit. But the reality is, this Swell event's telling me that they might have won. Why would Mastercard even bother coming and speaking, knowing that they have such a huge U.S. base? I know they're global, but so in Bank of America, for God's sakes, what would they possibly be doing there? Unless they knew they'd have an opportunity to work with Ripple and maybe someday XRP as well. Let's take a look at this before we get out of here. It's Egg Rag Crypto. It says XRP Ultimate Money Flow Chart. If you take a look at this, he says similar setup is in progress. Historically, level 32 was the launch pad, a possible breakout to descending trend line. XRP is structurally ready to rocket. You take a look at this. He's highlighting this here at this baseline of 32. Right? And showing this is where we are. It's slightly above right here, but it could play all the way out. Don't forget, see this stagnation, this kind of capitulation, this sideways movement, Don't underestimate the fact that we could range like this for God knows how long, right? So keep that in mind too. But the reality is, very appreciative for the chart from all technical analysts, certainly Egg Rag Crypto. Look, that's going to do it for me, but that's where we are on this day. Happy Friday. Head on a swivel. We may get a ruling in the library case, and it could affect the crypto space for years. Keep a lookout. That's going to do it for me. Before I get out of here, if you are down with the merge, and even if you aren't, get the ETH address that you have. Click on the link underneath my video and get that Ledger bundle. It's amazing, 20% off. This is why I offer stuff like this. I'll catch all of you on the next one.